Welcome to Mrs. True Crime. Today's video is the conclusion to the in-depth look into the gruesome murders of Marianne Schmidt and Christine Sharrock, also known as the Wanda Beach Murders. If you haven't seen part 1, please pause the video and click the link in the description below. Otherwise, if you're triggered by anything dealing with death and or sexual assault, feel free to click off this video. Perhaps check out my gaming channel, Retell Me Games, for some lighthearted content. If not, I'm Nicole. Let's get started.
What really drew my attention to the girl was when she kept looking over her shoulder, very much in a manner to see if she was being followed. She did that 2 or 3 times, and then I lost interest in I could see nothing behind and no reason why she should be such an action, and I just continued on my merry way.
On January 12, 1965, best friends and neighbors Marianne Schmidt and Christine Sharrock, both 15, were found buried in the sand dunes of Wanda Beach near Sydney. They had been stabbed multiple times. Christine had a skull fracture, while Marianne's throat had been slashed. The last known man to see them alive was fireman Dennis Destine. He saw them walking about 700 meters north of the surf club, and they looked as if they were in a hurry, with one of the girls constantly looking over her shoulder. Who the girls were walking away from or worried of is unknown, as Dennis didn't see anyone following them. But within a few hours, the girls would be found murdered. At 2:30 p.m., Contract Officer Peter Smith found one of their bodies, assuming at first she was a mannequin, and began to brush away the sand. Upon his discovery, he ran to telephone the police. When the police arrived, they were stunned to discover that Peter found 2 bodies, not one, as 3 feet were sticking out from the sand, and there began the investigation. The police took careful note of the crime scene, knowing that the girls, who were partially clothed, weren't exactly buried, but were simply lying on the beach with sand piled on top of them. The place they were found was also isolated, neatly tucked away 150 yards from water. There was also a trail of blood leading to the bodies that covered about 20 yards. Along with the blood trail, there were blood stains on a nearby shrub and fresh tire tracks leading from where the bodies were found. Both girls had been stabbed repeatedly, with Marianne getting the most wounds. The number of stab wounds ranged from 17 to 30 for each girl. Each girl had scratch marks on their faces, which displayed they fought against their attacker or attackers. Police believed Marianne was killed first, suffering a cut to the throat. It's theorized that Christine witnessed her best friend's murder, then tried to run away from her own, but was caught and endured the same fate, being hit harshly in the back of the head, obtaining a skull fracture. From there, the killer, or killers, sexually assaulted Marianne and attempted to do the same to Christine, ripping off Christine's shorts and underwear and cutting Marianne's bathing suit at the bottom and pulling it to her chest. The autopsy would show that their hymens were still intact. Semen would be found on Marianne, though would be lost before anything conclusive could be found. The autopsy would later reveal that Christine had eaten cabbage and celery, not the sandwiches Marianne bought, and had a blood alcohol level of 0.15, which was equivalent to a 7 to 10 ounce glass of beer, or a nip of spirits. Beryl, Christine's mother, as well as Leslie Tagg, Christine's uncle, insist that Christine would never drink. Along with this, police believed the girls were going to meet boys and something went awry, to which the family remarked that neither girl had boyfriends. However, 6 days after their murder, 2 teen boys would walk into the police station with a different story. For an hour on New Year's Eve, Marianne Schmidt left her family and wouldn't reveal where she ventured to or with whom. But on January 17, 1965, the family would get their answer. 2 boys, who were approximately 17, went to the Cronulla police station stating they met both girls on New Year's Eve. The boys were quickly cleared from any wrongdoing. While the brutality of the murders weren't lost on the police, what was lost were leads. Retracing their steps on the 11th, The police took the Schmidt children back to Cronulla to understand what the children witnessed. Wolfgang, age 7, told the police of the boy he had seen that day hunting crab and talking to the girls. As said in part 1, Wolfgang's description of the boy would change, but initially he was described as blonde, around 15 or 16, wearing gray trousers, and a blue towel over his shoulder, carrying a knife and a hoister. Along with these descriptions, the police made 6 identikits, photographs composed of sketches, of different men that were seen or frequented the beach around the time of the murders. Over 7,000 people were interviewed to composite these sketches, along with 6 different knives found on Wanda Beach, though none were proved to be the murder weapon. To enhance the speed of the search, the police declared an award of £10,000, which was equivalent to $20,000. The reward would be renewed again for another year, as the investigation hit many dead ends. Though witness accounts and volunteers came into the station to either clear their name or give vital information, nothing truly stuck. Yet the police began to compile a suspect list. The first suspect was Alan Bassett. Former detective Sec Johnson received a painting from Bassett of a landscape that he believed showcased Wanda Beach and different elements of the crime scene, such as a knife and a blood trail. Bassett was imprisoned for murdering 19-year-old Caroline Orphan in June 1966. He served 29 years and was released in 1995. While Johnson was convinced of Bassett's wrongdoing, his colleagues weren't as supportive of the theory. Instead, they fingered Christopher Wilder, aka the Beauty Queen Killer. Wilder committed a cross-country crime spree from Australia to New Hampshire, where he would accidentally kill himself in a scuffle with a state trooper. Wilder raped at least 12 women, killing 8 of them. His first crime involved a gang rape near Sydney, Australia in 1962 that resulted in probation and electroshock therapy. The third suspect was Derek Percy, a known child murderer who died of cancer in 2013. He was arrested for the murder of 12-year-old Yvonne Toohey, but found not guilty by reasons of insanity. Percy remarked that he couldn't remember if he killed any other children. Along with these suspects, police also believe the murders of cleaning lady Wilhelmina Kruger and prostitute Anna T. Dowling-Co. may have been connected to the Wanda Beach murders. All were killed with knives and have been placed in somewhat open places, with Kruger being found at the foot of the stairs of a car park and Anna being found on the side of a road. No further information has been given as to why the police suspected a connection between the 3 murders. But things began to look up when the case was reopened in 2007 and 2012 with new evidence. There was blood believed to have been from a knife wipe on one of the girl's shorts. It belonged to an unknown male, but the DNA profile was weak and not conclusive. Police are hopeful that with modern technology, they'll be able to unearth more concrete evidence. The case is still open, and anyone with information is encouraged to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-333-000. For years, the Schmidts and Tags never got the conclusion they longed for. Elizabeth Schmidt died before her daughter's killers could be brought to justice, and time can only tell if the murders of Marianne Schmidt and Christine Sharrock will ever be solved.
If I tell you, I'm not a churchgoer, okay? But walking down the street and pray, that happened a lot. Going shopping, the tears running, and praying. I still got the question why. You know, I said it at that time. So I find on each corner girls who wait for it. Why has to be the ones who say no? And I cope it. That's my opinion. Still got the questions why.
I'm Mrs. True Crime, and remember to be kind, be loud, be aware. For more information about the Wanda Beach murders, why not check out some of these awesome links? And if you liked what you saw and heard today, why not drop a like and a comment? Maybe subscribe while you're here? I make new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and you don't want to miss what's in store.